Hello, dear viewers, and a very warm welcome back to our channel. It's wonderful to have you join us once again as we delve into the latest happenings within the British royal family. If you, like us, follow the lives and duties of the royals with keen interest, then you absolutely won't want to miss today's story. We're focusing on His Majesty King Charles III and some recent developments that have understandably caused a stir and sparked conversations among royal watchers across the globe. It concerns his ongoing recovery and some adjustments to his upcoming schedule. Today we have an update regarding King Charles's health journey and some changes to his and Queen Camilla's anticipated plans. Specifically, we'll be discussing the recent cancellation of two significant overseas trips that the king was scheduled to undertake. But before we dive into the heart of the matter, if you find our royal updates informative and engaging, please do take a moment to click that like button. It truly helps our channel grow. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell so you never miss our latest insights. We also love hearing from you, so please feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts as we go through the details. Alright, let's get straight into it. The central point of today's discussion revolves around King Charles and his health. As many of you will recall, the king has been undergoing treatment for a form of cancer, a diagnosis bravely shared with the public earlier this year, back in February. Since then, he has periodically undertaken public duties when possible, balanced with his necessary treatment and recovery schedule. Recently, however, there was a development that required a brief hospital stay. Buckingham Palace confirmed last Thursday that His Majesty was admitted to hospital. Now, before any undue alarm sets in, it's crucial to relay the palace's official stance on this. They clarified that this admission was related to managing the side effects of his ongoing cancer treatment. Furthermore, palace officials characterized this episode as a minor bump in the road on his path to recovery. This phrasing suggests that while needing medical attention, it wasn't viewed as a major setback by his medical team or the palace. Following this brief hospital stay, the king appeared to be in good spirits. On Friday, he was seen returning to the familiar comfort of Clarence House, his London residence shared with Queen Camilla, where he will continue his period of convalescence. Photographs showed him smiling and waving, which was certainly a reassuring sight for many. However, despite these positive signs and the official description of the hospital visit as minor, subsequent news emerged over the weekend that points towards the need for continued caution and perhaps a more extended period of rest than initially anticipated. According to reports, notably from the Sun newspaper, two significant upcoming overseas trips involving the king have now been called off. This decision has naturally led to renewed focus and some concern regarding the king's current condition and the pace of his recovery. Stay tuned as we unpack all the fascinating details behind these cancellations, explore the potential reasons, and consider what this might mean for the king's schedule moving forward. There's quite a bit to discuss, including the nature of these trips and the reported reaction of Queen Camilla. So let's delve deeper into the specifics of these canceled plans. What exactly has been put on hold? We're talking about two distinct journeys that King Charles was reportedly very much looking forward to. Firstly, there was the king's annual personal holiday to Romania. This wasn't an official state visit, but rather a private trip that His Majesty traditionally undertakes. King Charles has a deep and well-documented affection for Romania, particularly the Transylvania region. He owns property there and has championed conservation efforts in the area for many years. This trip often involves walking and hiking through the beautiful Carpathian Mountains, allowing him time for reflection and rejuvenation in a place he clearly cherishes. He was meant to travel there, presumably in the near future, accompanied by Queen Camilla. Secondly, another planned trip has also been scrapped. This journey was reportedly to an African spa retreat. While fewer details are available about this specific plan compared to the Romania visit, the nature of a spa retreat strongly suggests a focus on rest, recuperation, and well-being, elements that would understandably be beneficial during a period of recovery from significant medical treatment. The cancellation of both these trips, particularly the cherished Romanian holiday, signals that despite returning home and appearing well, the king's energy levels and physical capacity might not yet be back to where they need to be for undertaking travel and the activities involved. International travel itself can be taxing, and the Romanian trip, with its emphasis on walking, would require a certain level of physical stamina, Why is this important? Well, firstly, it provides a realistic perspective on the king's recovery. While the palace termed the hospital stay a minor bump, the cancellation of travel suggests that recovery from cancer treatment, even when progressing generally well, is often not a straightforward linear process. There can be periods where more rest is essential, and plans, even personal ones, need to be adjusted accordingly. It underscores the seriousness of the treatment he is undergoing and the toll it can inevitably take. Secondly, it highlights the careful management of the king's health and schedule. Decisions like these are not made lightly, especially concerning trips the king personally enjoys. It indicates that his doctors and advisors are prioritizing his long-term health and ensuring he doesn't push himself too hard too soon. This cautious approach is arguably very sensible. Adding some emotional context and descriptive detail, let's consider the human element here. A source speaking to The Sun provided some insight into the situation. They stated, and I quote, "Charles is a hard-working king, but he needs and deserves occasional time off." This really resonates, doesn't it? We know King Charles has always maintained a demanding schedule, known for his dedication to his duties long before he ascended the throne. The source continued, "It was unfortunate that he couldn't fly with Camilla, as it was hoped they could have a well-earned break together." This quote paints a picture of understandable disappointment, not just for the king, but perhaps also for Queen Camilla. These breaks are not just holidays. They are opportunities for the couple to spend quality time together, away from the constant pressures of public life, something likely even more valued during this challenging period. The source elaborated specifically on the Romanian trip. He adores Romania and looks forward to visiting every year, but it would have involved just too much walking and he can't face it right now. This specific detail about the physical demands, too much walking, directly links the cancellation to the king's current physical limitations during his recovery. It's a very relatable challenge, wanting to do something enjoyable and familiar, but having to acknowledge that one's body simply isn't up to it at that moment. Furthermore, the reports mention Queen Camilla's reaction. It's understood, according to these sources, that the queen is naturally left feeling upset and worried by these developments. This is entirely understandable. Any spouse would be concerned for their partner's health, especially when anticipated plans have to be changed due to ongoing treatment effects. Queen Camilla has been a constant pillar of support for the king throughout his diagnosis and treatment, maintaining her own busy schedule of royal duties while undoubtedly providing immense personal comfort and encouragement to her husband. The cancellation of a shared break, especially one intended for rest and recuperation, would naturally add to her concerns both for his well-being and perhaps disappointment at missing that shared time away. To truly appreciate the significance of these cancellations, particularly the Romanian trip, let's take a brief look at the historical and personal context for King Charles. His Majesty's connection to Romania and Transylvania specifically goes back decades. It's not just a casual holiday destination for him. He has spoken passionately about the region's unique biodiversity, its traditional farming methods, and its cultural heritage. He owns several properties there, including a guest house in the village of Viscri, which operates as a sustainable tourism venture, and another private retreat in the Zalan Valley. These aren't palatial estates, but rather restored traditional houses, reflecting his commitment to preserving local architecture and ways of life. Through his foundation, formerly the Prince of Wales's Foundation Romania, he has actively supported conservation projects, heritage restoration, and sustainable development in the area. He even has distant ancestral links to Vlad the Impaler, the historical figure associated with Dracula, something he has mentioned with a touch of humor in the past. This deep, long-standing personal investment makes the cancellation of his annual visit more poignant than perhaps canceling a trip to a less personally significant location might be. It's a place where he connects with nature and his passions, away from the intense scrutiny of his role in the UK. Moreover, this situation reminds us of the delicate balance members of the royal family must constantly strike, especially the monarch, between their public duties, their personal lives, and their health. Since his diagnosis was announced in February, King Charles has demonstrated a remarkable determination to continue working where possible. We've seen him attending church, holding audiences, and even undertaking some public-facing engagements. However, the reality of undergoing cancer treatment involves managing unpredictable side effects and prioritizing rest for recovery. This adjustment to his travel plans is a clear manifestation of that reality. It also reflects a certain level of transparency, albeit managed. While the specifics of his treatment side effects remain private, the acknowledgement via the palace of the hospital visit and the subsequent news of canceled travel provide the public with an understanding that the recovery journey continues and requires careful navigation. In previous generations, such health matters might have been shrouded in much greater secrecy. The approach taken by King Charles and the palace seems to aim for a balance maintaining dignity and privacy while keeping the public informed of significant developments that impact his ability to perform his duties or undertake planned activities. The role of Queen Camilla in this context is also crucial. Last year, she enjoyed her own brief vacation, visiting a holistic health retreat in India on her way back from an official tour of Australia and Samoa with the King when he was Prince of Wales. This indicates that both value periods of rest and rejuvenation. Her reported worry now underscores her role not just as queen consort, but as a supportive wife navigating a difficult personal time alongside her husband. Her continued public work, despite these private concerns, showcases the resilience and sense of duty that characterizes the modern monarchy. So, bringing these threads together, what does this recent news truly signify? This story, encompassing the brief hospital stay and the subsequent cancellation of the trips to Romania and Africa, serves as a potent reminder of the human dimension behind the crown. It reminds us that King Charles, despite his unique position, is undergoing a significant health challenge. The journey of cancer treatment is often marked by ups and downs, and the need for rest and adjustment is paramount. The cancellation of these trips, while perhaps disappointing for the King and Queen personally, represents a sensible and necessary prioritization of his health and long-term recovery. The palace's description of the hospital visit as a minor bump, coupled with the King appearing in good spirits upon his return, offers reassurance that this isn't necessarily a major setback. However, the decision to forego travel, especially the physically demanding walking holiday in Romania, indicates a realistic assessment of his current capabilities and the need to conserve energy for healing. This narrative underscores the enduring strength and support system within the royal family, particularly the unwavering presence of Queen Camilla by the King's side. Her reported concern is a relatable human emotion, highlighting the personal impact of the King's health battle on his closest family. Ultimately, moments like these, where carefully laid plans must yield to the realities of health and recovery, keep the world connected to the human story of the royal family. It's a reminder of resilience, the importance of rest, and the ongoing journey King Charles is navigating with dignity and reportedly continued optimism, even as adjustments are made. Now, we'd love to turn the conversation over to you, our valued viewers. This news about King Charles canceling his trips has certainly given us much to reflect upon. What do you think about this latest development? Does the cancellation of these trips raise concerns for you, or do you see it as a wise precaution during his recovery? How do you feel about the balance the King seems to be striking between his desire to work, his need for rest, and the public's interest in his well-being? It's a complex situation managing recovery in the public eye. And what are your thoughts on Queen Camilla's reported reaction and her steadfast support? Let us know all your thoughts, feelings, and perhaps your well wishes for the King in the comments section below. We genuinely enjoy reading your perspectives and fostering a respectful discussion here. And of course, if you found this discussion insightful and appreciate our detailed updates on the royal family, please don't forget to hit that like button. It makes a big difference. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time to do so, ensuring you stay informed with all our future royal news and analyses. Thank you so very much for watching today's video and for spending this time with us. We hope you found our exploration of this topic informative and thoughtful. Your support means the world to us. Please remember to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to our channel for more royal updates, and share your valuable thoughts with our community in the comments below. We look forward to welcoming you back for our next video, where we'll continue to bring you more inspiring and interesting stories from the world of the royal family. Until then, stay tuned, take care of yourselves, and goodbye for now.